Welcome to the Abundance Hack Show, where we are inspiring you to tap into your power to manifest the happiness, success, and fulfillment that you desire. I am your host, Niajae, the Upper Limit Coach. I am here to dismantle your limiting beliefs and remove the blocks so you can confidently live your life's purpose, because life is meant to be abundant. Hey M&Ms, thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. What are you manifesting in your life today? In this episode, we are going to talk about trapped emotions, what they are, how our bodies are speaking to us, and 7 ways you can release trapped emotions so you can work towards well-being and living an abundant life, because ultimately that is what this podcast is about. So what are trapped emotions? I created my own definition from all of the research that I've done about it. And the way I define trapped emotions is emotional energy that has become trapped in the body that surfaces as a physical ailment that prevents well-being. So I believe that everything that we experience is creating an emotional response, and we are taught by society to numb our feelings and emotions. We can't feel too deeply, so what we do is get used to saying, I'm fine, I'm okay, this doesn't bother me, I don't care, and then we create these trapped emotions in our body that winds up being suppressed and swept under the rug, stuffed in the back of the closet, and they surface in a physical ailment. I had a guest that explained trauma, and I like the way that she broke it down. She said, we have trauma with a big T and we have trauma with a little t. So throughout our lives, we experience trauma, and it may not be trauma with a big T. It could be trauma with a little t, where, you know, we were screamed at for not doing something as a child, or we got sent to detention for something in school when maybe we were trying to do the right thing, but the result didn't turn out how we expected. We saw our parents fight. There's different things throughout our lives, especially in our childhood, that causes us to store trauma in our bodies. And what happens is, if we don't deal with some of those emotions, they turn into fear, they turn into doubt, they turn into emotional and subconscious blocks that are preventing us from living our best lives. So that's why inner work is so important, so we can really get to the root cause of a lot of our emotional chaos, because we all have emotional chaos. And throughout life, we continue to have things that challenge us. So if we are not acknowledging and honoring our feelings, we will continue to trap our emotions. We'll continue to suppress them. We'll continue to sweep them under the rug and stuff them in the back of the closet. But that is the thing that is preventing inner peace and true happiness. And I'm talking about true happiness, not faking it for the gram, not putting on your strong face and saying, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm great, I don't care, but actual true happiness and true inner peace and true fulfillment. That is my goal for this podcast. So there are 4 sources that I really learned a lot about trapped emotions, and I want to share them with you. So number 1 is The Emotion Code. It's a book by Bradley Nelson, and he really breaks down how we store trauma in our bodies. So he actually has a certification program where he takes people through teaching others how to release trapped emotions. So there's emotion code instructors. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can definitely look up the book, and he has a website that tells you all the details. But if you want to learn more about it, that's a really good book to read, The Emotion Code by Bradley Nelson. And then, of course, Louise Hay. So Louise Hay has been in the healing holistic game forever. I believe that the book that I'm referring to, Heal Your Body, was released in 1976, if I'm not mistaken. So she's been around for a really long time, still at it, still helping people heal themselves in a holistic way and feel their best. So she's really, really amazing. So Heal Your Body is another book that I think is really amazing with understanding how we store trauma and emotion and pain in our body. And resentment. Resentment is a huge, huge one. And that's definitely something that I've been working on. So, Yes, Louise Hay, Heal Your Body. So the third one is NonLinear Movement by Michaela Baum. So I actually haven't read one of Michaela Baum's books, but I know someone that is certified by her. So I've taken a few of their workshops, and basically nonlinear movement, I actually have an exact definition. It works with the nervous system to help release whatever emotional, physical, and mental contractions are held in a body through non-force movement. So imagine yoga, but not plans, like you do this move, this move, this move, you know? This is like getting on your yoga mat and intuitively feeling where your body wants to go, intuitively seeing what movements feel good, what movements are tight. If it's tight, let's lean into that space to see what's there. And that's a powerful thing, because if we have these trapped emotions stored in our bodies, like people who have tight hips or a tight lower back, that is trapped emotions, but we'll get to that a little bit later. And the fourth thing that helped me understand trapped emotions is sound therapy. So obviously I took to that healing modality very well because I went out and got certified. So I'm a certified sound therapy practitioner. Sound therapy for me was the thing that really helped me unlock my subconscious blocks and my subconscious pain and resentment and trauma. And when I say subconscious, there's a lot of people on the surface that don't understand that they're holding on to pain and resentment and trauma. So when you are doing something like sound therapy, it's helping you connect to your higher self. It's raising your level of consciousness, and it allowed me to see some of the things that I was holding on to that was standing in my way, which is why it blew my mind and I went out and got certified. But it really helped me transform my life and allowed me to do the deepest inner work that I've ever experienced. So those are the four things that really helped me understand trapped emotions. So I'll give you some examples of how this emotional pain being suppressed can surface as physical ailments on a very simple level to a really drastic level. So for example, when I get stressed, I wear all my stress in my neck and in my shoulders. So anytime something stressful happens, this is the first place that I feel it. So if you're listening, I'm pointing to my neck and shoulders. If you're watching a video, you can actually see. But that's the first place that I feel it. I tense up right here. And everybody's body is different. So what I've started doing with my guided meditations that I do for my sound therapy is I tell them, take a quick scan of your body and see where you feel tension. Where is there tightness? Where is it a little uncomfortable? And really lean into that and breathe into that area. Send energy to that area to make sure you're releasing whatever it is that you're holding on to. So one thing that I've experienced, and I've talked about this on the podcast, is ascension flu. So sometimes we are raising our level of consciousness or expanding our energy, and our physical bodies are not moving at the same rate. And a lot of times we have trapped emotions where, like, okay, if you're going to go into this next level of consciousness, you have to release some stuff that you're storing in your body. So one thing I'll share with you guys, I just did the Daddy Issues podcast episode. That full week, I had hip issues. It was my left hip, and this may be a little woo-woo. So woo-woo meter, like this is for my woo-woo people. So yes, I run. Yes, I could have like tweaked my hip. Maybe I didn't stretch enough, but on an energetic level, I was releasing some pain and resentment and trauma from my childhood and opening up and sharing something extremely vulnerable about my dad and my childhood and, you know, my situation with my parents. My hip bothered me the whole entire time. So I did some research and I'm like, okay, left hip, what does this mean? And the research basically said that is where we store resentment from our childhood. That is where we store, pain and trauma from our childhood. And typically it's anger and resentment and hatred towards your father. I'm like mind blown, because literally my physical body was releasing the pain and the trauma from my childhood. It is insane. And the thing about it is, since I've been doing sound therapy, there's scientific stuff behind the sound therapy, but I'm very much into energy. And I know that since I started doing sound therapy, when I do not honor my feelings, if my intuition or my gut says, do this, say this, whatever it is, and I don't do it, I have some type of physical reaction. There was a time where I didn't speak up about something I felt really strongly about, and I lost my voice. Our bodies literally talk to us, and if we don't honor it, it results in some type of physical situation. And that's the more you connect with your intuition. So if you're completely disconnected from your intuition, then you've silenced it. You've numbed yourself to your intuition. And if you're listening to this podcast, obviously you want to connect with your intuition, because that is how you're led to your purpose and your fulfillment in life, connecting to your intuition, listening to your inner voice, and allowing your gut to guide you. And I know I did an episode where he says that the person I interviewed said, don't go with your gut. The name of his book is Don't Go With Your Gut, but that's an untrained intuition. So I want to be really specific about this. We have people that are emotionally immature. So someone who is emotionally immature, them going with their gut may be a little different. So someone who has practiced emotional intelligence, which is something that I talk about on this podcast, one of my favorite episodes. If you haven't checked that out, definitely go check out that episode. But if you train yourself to identify, understand, and express your emotions from a place of emotional intelligence, you will be able to trust your gut, go with your gut, and express yourself in a healthy manner. So that's really, really important. So if you're someone who hasn't done inner work, who isn't self-aware, who doesn't understand how to communicate in a healthy manner, then you may not want to go act on every impulse, but the more you connect with your inner being and your higher self, the more you should act on those impulses when you feel like, okay, something's telling me to say this, something's telling me to turn here, something's telling me to create this product, or whatever it is, read this book. You want to start to listen to those feelings. And when you don't, your body will speak to you. Your body will speak to you. And I know a lot of the things that I'm mentioning is definitely trauma with a little t. I'm fortunate and grateful that I've never experienced any severe trauma with a big T. But for people who have, I would definitely recommend seeing someone who is trained in trauma and like how to handle trauma with a big T. So when I say trauma with a little t, I don't know, maybe you were teased as a child, that sticks with you throughout life. But trauma with a big T is a death in a family, some type of physical abuse, some type of horrific experience in your life. I would highly recommend reaching out to someone who is trauma informed that can help you heal those things, because you never know whether it's trauma with a big T or little t, how that trauma is standing in your way of living the life that you desire, having the relationships that you desire, having the success in your career or business that you desire, allowing yourself to feel pleasure and joy. We stop our own pleasure and joy, we cap it. And dealing with your trauma, whether it's a big T or little t, is what is going to allow you to expand your capacity to allow more abundance, joy, passion, excitement in your life.
Why do we hold ourselves back? Why do we tone ourselves down for the comfort of others? It is time to be you, all of you. It is time to be decadent and become the fully expressed version of yourself. The world will never know your greatness if you tiptoe through life to avoid making someone feel insecure or inferior because your light shines bright. Go to Niajae.com/decadent to download the 6 steps to a decadent you, to embrace your fullest expression and be unapologetic about it.
So before I get into the 7 ways that we can release trapped emotions, I just want to give you an example, and maybe some of these will kind of resonate and you'll be like, oh, I have felt that. But there's a difference between our left side and the right side of our bodies. Our left side usually deals with past experiences, your memories, and your emotional joy or pain. So if you felt pain as a child, if you felt joy as a child, the left side is where we typically store our past experiences. And then our right side is our future. And a lot of times people fear the future, especially if the future is unknown. People fear change and they resist change. So if you're having pains on the right side of your body, typically that indicates is something to do with your future. So it's really interesting. I hear a lot of people have back issues. Back issues are usually associated with private or subconscious fears. So like if you have lower back pain, whatever you're storing is probably subconscious. It's not on the surface. Like sometimes we have things that are on the surface, like I know I'm afraid of this, but there's some things that we don't know. So I love this quote, you know what you know what you don't know, but you don't know what you don't know. So if you're having lower back pains and you can't pinpoint what it is, that's definitely a good opportunity to seek some type of healing modality. So the breast, I want to bring up boobs. Breast sounds so funny when I say it. But anyway, so with breast, it's typically associated with mothering and nourishment. So cysts or lumps can represent putting everyone else first. So I know that breast issues are very prominent right now in women, and women are nurturers, and a lot of times they don't take time for self-care and self-love. And you guys know that my favorite quote is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to take care of you first. And so many women experience guilt when they take care of themselves first, when they put themselves first. So it makes so much sense to me that this would be associated with any kind of breast issues. So make sure that you are taking time for self-care and self-love and putting yourself first, and make sure you are filling your cup, because if your cup is depleted, you have nothing to give anyone else. So making sure your cup is full and you are serving from your overflow. Serve from your overflow. Make sure your cup is so full it's overflowing, so whatever you give to others, you have to give, and it's not depleting you. So important. So migraines, because I hear a lot of people talk about migraines, is resisting the flow of life and sexual fears. So if you suffer from migraines, definitely something to look into. And then another one is throat. So I've actually experienced this, and I've been working through this, like fully standing in my truth. And a lot of times our throat, if you have a sore throat, if you lost your voice, anything like that, it's usually an indication that you are not standing in your truth. You are not speaking your truth. And that's really important. So one of the things that I go over in my Decadent Academy is social courage, having the courage to stand in your truth, even at the risk of rejection or disapproval. Why don't we speak up? Because we don't want people to reject us. We don't want people to disapprove of our thoughts and our feelings. But what it's doing is it's denying your inner being. It's denying your truth. And it's sending your body the message that you don't accept who you are. You don't accept your feelings and your emotions and your values and your truth, which is what creates the discord in your physical body. So really important to make sure that you are speaking your truth and standing in your truth and owning it. And then the last one, this is not something I've ever experienced, but I know that it's something that is common, is UTIs. So it says that UTIs are usually you being pissed off about something, which makes sense to me as well, and you're blaming others for maybe your circumstance. And we are the creators of our own reality. So if you find yourself in that situation, definitely something to look into. So let's dive into the 7 ways that we can release trapped emotions. Number 1, you know I have to do shameless self-promotion, but I would say sound therapy. And sound therapy is so powerful, you guys. It is a way that you can align and balance your energy, and because we are energetic beings, so balance your energy. And I feel the sound goes into those little pockets of trauma that we've stored in our lives and just dissolves it. If you want to schedule a one-on-one session, or I also have recordings and guided meditations that you can find at thesoundmetrics.com/recordings. So definitely look into sound therapy. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think it's absolutely amazing. And I think it's a gentle way to really deal with trauma. And I would say trauma with a little t. So if you have trauma with a big T, then you may need something a little more than sound therapy. But trauma with a little t, it's going to go into those little pockets and voids that we have and dissolve them and create space for love and joy and abundance. Really powerful. So number 2 is EFT. I'm a huge advocate for EFT. So I have an episode about that. Definitely check out my EFT episode. But the way that the practitioner explains it is we have emotions that are flowing through our bodies, and just like a water hose, water flows through the water hose, but if it gets a kink or a knot in it, then the water doesn't flow. So that's the same thing with our emotions. If we have something trapped, it's not flowing, which is what causes a physical ailment. So with EFT, you're tapping on your meridian point. So if you are tuning in, I'm showing really quick. So it's tapping, and they tap on like the different meridian points, you know, so you can release the trapped emotions. And anytime I'm feeling anything heavy, I usually go to my sound bowls and tapping. So I YouTube tapping. So Brad Yates is really popular for that, and he has videos on everything. So you could say tapping for grief, tapping for abundance, tapping, you know, for heartbreak. And he's going to take you through a guided EFT session. So that's a really great way to do it. Again, if you have suffered any type of trauma with a big T, definitely speak directly to a trauma-informed practitioner or holistic healer or something of the sort. You want to work with someone if you have experienced trauma with a big T, just so if anything comes up, you have someone there that can help guide you through that process. But trauma with a little t, YouTube Brad Yates, he has a bunch of stuff. Also Gala Darling, so I love Gala. She does tapping, but she's very like fierce. She has a very unique personality. So she has like tapping like, I am a bad bitch. So my sassy ladies, you probably would love her because her stuff it's fun and very energetic, but it's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste. I would say she's decadent. Like, she is her in her fullest expression, and you know I love that. So if you want to see someone just owning their uniqueness and their fullest expression, definitely check out Gala Darling. All right, number 3, the third way you can release trapped emotions is through meditation. And there's a lot of guided meditations. I offer some guided meditations through Sound Metrics, so you can definitely check out some of mine. There's so many apps right now, free apps, that you can go to search whatever it is that you are experiencing. So guided meditations is definitely a great way. The 4th way you can release trapped emotions is through movement. So yoga, dance, NonLinear Movement, somatic descent. There's so many different things where we can move our bodies to really figure out like what's going on and release it. And I'm a huge advocate for dance. Obviously, I own 2 dance studios in my life, so I love dance. Dance literally was like my first love. So huge advocate for dance. And that's why I love contemporary dance, because it's so heartfelt and you just move your body like however the music moves you, whatever you're feeling. And it's like a beautiful way to release emotions. Number 5 is work with a healer. So there's a lot of different healing modalities, and we've talked a lot about them on this podcast. So RTT, hypnotherapy, Reiki, theta healing, these are all things that help you pinpoint subconscious blocks, which in my opinion are also trapped emotions, so you can figure out what is standing in your way from being happy, what is standing in your way from feeling fulfilled, what is standing in your way from living the abundant life that you desire. So number 6 is artistic expression. So paint, write music, write poetry. Like, these are ways people express themselves and whatever they're going through. So if you ever listen to like poetry that just seems like really sad or like heartfelt, or people write about heartbreak because that's their way of releasing those trapped emotions, releasing the emotions that they don't want to store in their body. So artistic expression, I am a huge advocate for that. And the 7th way to release trapped emotions is through journaling. I, again, am a huge advocate for journaling. And there's a lot of programs out there that will offer journal prompts or ask thought-provoking questions, so you can really tap into what's going on inside your heart, inside your head, inside your soul. Decadent Academy actually is one of those programs, and it is designed to help people stand in their truth, step into their power, embrace their sovereignty, and share their gifts with the world. So a lot of the journal prompts and thought-provoking questions are built around that. What's stopping you from sharing your gifts with the world? So if you're interested in that, definitely go to niajae.com/decadent. So really quick recap. The first way to release trapped emotions is through sound therapy. Second way is through EFT. Third way, meditation. Fourth way is through movement. So yoga, dance, nonlinear movement, somatic descent. The 5th way is to work with a healer. Just work directly with someone that is trained to help guide you through that process. The 6th way is through artistic expression, painting, writing music, writing poetry. The 7th way is through journaling. So finding a program or finding something online that offers you journal prompts or thought-provoking questions to help you really tap into your inner being and connect to your higher self. So I hope you found value in this. I believe that this is our work. This is our work to peel back the layers and really get to the core of the things that are standing in our way, because I do believe we are standing in our own way, but this is our work. This is our job to uncover why we have these blocks, why we have these limiting beliefs, why we have these fears, so we can step into our power, step into our sovereignty, and live the life that we are destined to live. We are sent here with gifts. We're sent here with a purpose, and releasing the trapped emotions that are causing the fear that's preventing us from doing it, that's our work. And that is what I am passionate about with this podcast, is helping people peel back the layers, fully embrace their sovereignty, and live abundant lives. So if this resonates with you, or you know someone that needs to hear this message, definitely share this video or podcast episode with them so we can see more people happy and fulfilled and thriving in the world, especially with everything going on in the world. A lot of people are storing emotions. There's a lot of fear and uncertainty and resentment and anger and hatred. So my goal is to help raise the vibration of the collective. So definitely share this message with someone that would find value in this, and make sure you are doing your part in making sure you're releasing any trapped emotions so you can work towards well-being and abundance. All right, M&Ms, until next time, be decadent. Thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. I would love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our yummy episodes. Every time you leave a 5-star rating or review, I do my happy dance.